a lot of kids are graduating elementary school and middle school and high schools, colleges, and universities. And what I'm hearing on a regular basis are phone calls, text messages from students I've known for many years. And some of them are ready to graduate and they are ready to give up. They're like, there's no point of me finishing up this thing. Why am I even here? I don't deserve it, this and that. And that's where we have to be cautious, because we need to be cautious with suicide prevention. One of the things that I write in my book, Fulfilling the Dream, I have a little chapter on depression after graduation. And this is something that happens to everybody. Even during vacations, this happens to a lot of kids. And so we need to make sure to keep an eye on individuals, family members, friends, classmates, so on and so forth, because these are challenging times. COVID, one minute they tell us everything is under control, the next minute people don't take care of themselves, and COVID comes back really, really strong, as is the situation now. In Sonoma County and other places, the fire season is here, and then we have earthquake scares, and then we have so many pieces that go with this. And so people start losing hope. And it is important that we understand some of the signs that are out there in regards to suicide, because we want to make sure to be there for people, and we want to make sure that we demonstrate that it's okay, especially for males, that it's okay to raise our hand and say, can you do a check-in with me, right? I need to talk to somebody. As always, you can start by sharing via text, or putting this number on the front door of your fridge, for example. The suicide prevention hotline is 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. People can call, or people can send a text message if they're feeling this way. And so what I suggest is, in case you don't feel that you can talk to me, here's a phone number where you can call. You can text that to all of your family members, your friends, and partially of what's going to happen, some of these individuals will immediately reach out to you and say, are you okay? Yes, because I love you, I wanted to make sure you had access to that number. I know that not everybody is handling this situation of COVID and everything else well, so I wanted to make sure that you knew that I care. Again, putting it on that fridge door is important. And some people feel awkward about this, but it's better to feel awkward for a minute than to live with regret. So here are a couple of signs in regards to suicide prevention. In regards to mental health, many of these individuals who are considering suicide have suddenly poor relationships, their mood changes, and their personality traits come up with personality traits of aggression, such as anxiety disorders, panic disorders, for example. They may develop bipolar disorders, and they may develop some conduct disorders, right? So they may be getting in trouble at school for behavioral reasons. They may be losing their jobs because they were acting out at work. Their mood changes, and what we see is signs of depression, anxiety. They start losing interest in what they used to love, like sports or reading or whatever it is. They suddenly feel a lot of anger, and they are irritable. And some of their behaviors is that they withdraw from activities they used to love, again, like sports or whatever it is, even video games, which are not the healthiest thing in the world. They start isolating from family and friends. They start visiting people to suddenly start talking about goodbyes. They start talking about giving away things that are precious to them, where at some point maybe a car or maybe anything was very important to them, and now they're talking about they're not going to need it anymore, right? And if the person is actually talking about killing themselves, or that maybe they feel like they're a burden to others, or that they don't see any purpose on living. Again, it's important to seek support at that time. But this is why the 1-800-273-8255 number is essential. And then sometimes these individuals may get triggered by having some form of exposure to somebody who committed suicide, whether it is that they saw something on TV, online, or somebody in the community, passed away. Sometimes it just means that a family member, a friend, a close friend maybe died from natural causes, but that may trigger the person into that level of ideal or thinking, right? So it's important. Some of these individuals are triggered by prolonged stress, harassment at work, bullying behavior at work that they have experienced. Maybe at school they're experienced that. Maybe they lost their jobs and they haven't been able to find a job in a while. And or they feel rejected by family, friends, colleagues. Sometimes they're going through divorce. Or they may have had, again, another type of loss, a family member, a close friend. And so the reason I bring this up is because, again, some individuals are really having a hard time, and it's important that we talk about why it's perfectly natural to raise our hand and ask for support. With that, again, always keep in mind 1-800-273-8255. This the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.